we'll do our best. We'll do our best to finish. So welcome everybody. So tonight I want to share briefly before we go into the more like the general open house discussion or family meeting or community meeting around what to invest in or question and answer about our current product or your position, all of the before we get into all of that, we like to share knowledge first and foremost. And because at the end of the day, for us, first and foremost, is about what you do, how you build your own wealth, how you build wealth for yourself, provide you the resources, the knowledge, the information that you need. So whether you do it in a way, in partnership with Playtives or your own, it does not matter. What matters is that you do it. That's what is important. So every Friday, we try to share one or two knowledge. And if I can confess to you guys, I was almost not going to have tonight. But to be honest, every time I have it, like even I was going to say, let's not have tonight to the guys. But every time we do it, I still feel fulfilled. It doesn't like the fact that we're able to share those knowledge for free. And sometimes the messages that one or two of us also go back and share in the group or with me, I think for me, that inspires, okay, let's just do this today. It's been a very busy week for me. I won't lie to you, very busy, been very tiring, but regardless, so we keep going. So again, tonight I want to share two of the most powerful ways I know to build wealth, and both are accessible to you right now. Like you can do it, you can do two of them right now. I say this first and foremost. I like to start by saying that my name, of course, is Gabriel Olatunji-Legend. I'm popularly called Mr. Legend. I am not a financial expert. I teach about wealth. I talk about money and all of that. I have one or two certifications on even wealth and instruct education and all of that. But I do not call myself a financial expert. I do not. That's why if you also follow me somehow, you see that I don't necessarily share exactly the philosophy of many people who are financial experts. I strongly believe there's a framework that people can use to build wealth. I teach that in my Table Masterclass, and practically I strongly believe in that framework. But like many other things that is being taught, maybe people are teaching things in it, they teach other things in different, and it doesn't mean that they are wrong. It just means that I've leveraged my experience, the things I've been able to achieve with my life, little life. My life is not little, yeah, with my life, and the things that I've seen other people experience. I've had a couple of friends who work in multiple sectors, different industries, some running businesses, some working, and I've seen what we've been able to achieve, and I bring all of that experience to share. And thankfully, I now also run a platform called Playtives, which is a co-ownership platform. So, to be honest, that for me is the backbone of why I authoritatively share the things I share concerning wealth and concerning money. And I hope that you find value in some of them, even though they are not as regular as what you always hear everywhere. So, first thing we're going to talk about first is trade co-funding. Trade co-funding. And what does that mean? Trade co-funding is simply one of the things that you do, or one of the investment that you do that is liquid, that is fast, and that is practical. I'll probably get a little bit into that as I go along. And the second thing we want to talk about is co-ownership. And a simple way to explain that is building a stake in things that keep paying you, or owning a stake in things that keep paying you. That's it. You can either build your stake or own it, depending on if you are starting from scratch or you're joining an existing one. So tonight we're going to look at both and show you the numbers, and then hopefully we'll cover some other important announcement that we are all interested in as well. All right. Now, of course, trade co-funding is, for me, for those that know, if you've spoken to me privately, or especially if you have attended the Table Masterclass, you would have heard me say that is one of my favorite ways to grow capital. Yeah, because it is fast, it is liquid, and it is really, really practical. Now, the concept is simple. Someone is buying and selling something. Maybe someone is buying and selling palm oil, eggs, bread, export goods, anything. They need capital. And sometimes they don't even need capital, but they don't mind you sharing or using your capital. They're using your capital to do it. So they need your capital to execute the trade. You provide that capital. When the trade is completed, they sell. which is like the completion of the trade means that they have sold or they've gotten paid. You get your money back plus your share of the profits. Now, the key word is that it is liquid. Most investments are not this liquid. So your money is not locked for don't dungeon of years. No, it comes back in a short cycle. So sometimes 15 days, sometimes 30 days, sometimes 60 days, sometimes even 1 day, sometimes 1 week, depending on the trade that you are involved in or that you funded or that you co-funded. And that is what makes this powerful, especially when you are starting out and you need your money to keep working quickly. It's one of the things I think many of us should be very deliberate about to look at. They are one of the ways to easily build wealth. I say it again, I've said it over and over again, and I try to emphasize as much as possible. If you do not come from wealth, or you do not have a backbone of wealth, no, some of us, you may not come from wealth, but you have someone who you can fall back on if something happens to your finances. Maybe your husband, your wife, your father, your mother, or something, or your sibling. If you don't come from that, if you don't come from wealth, or you don't have that kind of backbone, I think that you should not be following all of the wealth, and I'm sorry to say, all of the investment advice online. You should be deliberate about the kind of investment that you do. I always often recommend trade co-funding if, of course, certain things have been observed as much as possible. Now, I would say that let me give you like a specific reason why I like trade co-funding, especially for people who, like I mentioned, who are building wealth without a strong financial backbone behind them. Number one is the speed. Your money is not locked away. It comes back fast, and fast money compounds faster. Two is the liquidity that can happen, which is like unlike buying a property or owning a business, you can choose not to reinvest after a cycle. That flexibility matters a lot. And then, of course, real transaction. This is not, of course, speculation. Someone is actually buying, someone is actually selling. There is a real margin. And so returns, most trade co-funding opportunities return between 2% to 6% per cycle. And if you find there are trade opportunities that you can find that is daily, that returns that much. Now imagine that you are making 2% every day on something. Think about it. And I'll show us, I think I'll show us how you can find some of those things, even ourselves. I'm like, this thing we are teaching about is not about Playtives. So in case you are wondering, I'm talking about Playtives. No, it's about how you can even do some of these things yourself. All right, so I think I was talking about the fact that percentages that you can get. So most trade co-funding opportunities return about 2 to 6% per cycle. So so it's one of the easiest way you can actually turn your money around as fast as possible, so let's move on. I'll say that here's the thing that about trade co-funding. You do not have to wait for like a formal platform to find an opportunity. So Playtives is more like the formal platform, like a community platform. You don't have to wait for that for you to actually find an opportunity. There are deals that are hiding in plain sight around you every single day. Now, let me give you a real example. If you are here, if you are a young person, you have a mom or you have a sister, or you have don't let me be gender specific, you have a dad, someone who is a supermarket owner or a shop owner that you know. Now, this person, let's assume that they sell multiple things every day. But in the things that they sell, there's one thing or two things or three things that they sell that move every other day. That they sell out every day, or they sell out every week, or they sell out every 3 days or every month. There's something that they sell. So let's say the person has a shop and maybe they sell eggs, and every day they sell 1,000 eggs every day. Now I'm just using random thing. I'm likely not be using the accurate numbers. So I want you to think this through with me. So they sell 1,000 eggs every single day. So what that means is that, let's say that the person goes to buy these eggs at 800 naira each. That's just use the number, just for the sake of this calculation, use the numbers. You can aggregate or appropriate the numbers correctly later. So let's say that she buys at 800 naira each. She sells at 1,000 naira each. That is 200 naira profit per egg, right? So now 1,000 eggs a day, 200 naira each. That is 200,000 naira profit every day, right? Please, if you are following me, so that I will not feel like I'm just talking to myself. Please engage me in the chat. Let me say that you guys are putting one or two messages there that you are following me or you are understanding. Or if you are not even clear, it's fine. If you have questions, ask it. At the end of the session, I'll come back and answer all of those questions. All right. So I think I was talking about 200 naira profit on egg means 200,000 naira profit every day at 1,000. Yeah, right. Now, so what if you said that you go to this person, which is maybe your mom, your sister, your whatever. You go to the person and say, this particular product that is selling, this particular egg, forget all the other ones, just pick one or two. Don't focus on many things that is selling. Let me fund it, or let me fund half of the stock. So meaning that when they are going to buy, maybe they are buying at 800 naira, right? No, how much did I say? Yeah, they are buying at 800 naira, right? So let me, the 1,000 that you are buying, let me fund 500 of it, which is 800 naira multiplied by 500, right? Let me fund 500 of it. And I will fund the 500 of it, or 1,000 of it. The profit that you make on it, let us share it in half. You take one half and I take half. That way, your fund, your liquid, your cash, you can leverage it to other areas, buy other things. You don't have to worry on this area. That is one simple way where you can start co-funding right away, right here and right now. And many of us have relationships like that, or people who are buying things, who are selling things, or who own a store, who own a shop, or who are into trade, who are into many of these things, that we are just not looking at the possibility of making a lot of money from it. Many of them are looking for liquid cash, not because, they are already doing some of these things, but they always often need more money, or they would not buy more money because it means that they can invest the one that they have into something else. So you say, I want to fund half your stock. Instead of you using your money, you tell them, use mine. So when you sell, you tell them, we are going to split the profits. You take 100,000 naira, I take 100,000 naira, and you reinvest that money into other things. See, it means that there's a possibility of you earning, maybe a bit of an exaggeration, but let's take it for the sake of what it is. There's a possibility of you earning 100,000 naira every day just by using the same fund, the same capital to reinvest, to co-fund or fund the trade that you are not necessarily selling yourself. Anybody who knows me well, who talks to me about money, they know that it's one of my most favorite form of investment. As a matter of fact, I even established, put a group of friends together where we put money together, and we're just, what the money does is fund something, buy and sell it with somebody or something that already exists. And that is just turn the money around for profits. I have people manage like large sum of money, of course, for, okay, I have this for, and maybe with 70% and all that. I don't want to go into all of that. That's a different discussion entirely. So so if you know, like I said, it's one of my favorite form of investment. Let's go on, because I think I'm already getting excited. And those that know, if I guess I can continue to talk on that one thing for a long period of time. So, but that is essentially what trade co-funding is. And it is sitting right there next to you. So I would say that once you have found the opportunity, there are 3 ways you can participate. Even for trade co-funding, I want to break it down a little bit for you. One of the method is that you can co-fund the retailer. So meaning that you give the shop owner money to buy the stock. So like I mentioned, I use your mom or your friend, your sister earlier. You go and meet the person and say, okay, he said, when you are buying, I will give you the money to buy. So when you are selling, I make this profit, whether it's daily, whether it's weekly, whether it's every 2 days, whether it's every week, depending on how the trade is. Those number of days is what we call trade cycle. Now, you give the shop owner the money to buy the stock. They sell, you split the profit. That's one method. There's a method 2. And that method 2 is you go one level up, where you say, okay, you've identified that this is the product that sells. Then you go and find the supplier who is supplying the shop. Then you now have that discussion that you're supposed to have with your sister or your friend or whoever with that supplier and say, okay, let me co-fund this purchase. Like, I'm going to give you the money or maybe the person who is buying it at 600, whatever it is, and supplying. Or instead of you to supply this particular one store or this one, let me co-fund it. I'm going to buy this number, pay it for this number. Your other money that you have, move it to other areas or other shops so that you can buy more goods. But this particular number of goods, 1,000 or 300 or 500, let me co-fund it for you. And then, of course, as you supply to those people, I get what? Paid. Or, of course, you get paid, and then, of course, we split the profit as well. So, the same method. You co-fund supply, you co-fund their purchase, they supply, they get paid, and they split, or you split the margin with the supplier. The method 3 for co-funding is simply you become the supplier yourself. And it's not as hard as many people are thinking about it. How? You go and look for where to buy the goods. You know, this is the good that is moving in this person's shop, right? And you have done your margin. I can make 5,000 every day on this, or I can make 50,000 every day on this if they sell this amount. It means I can supply them every day. Or if it's every week, I can make 100,000 or 500,000 depending on the volume or the margin. So you go and find that. You buy the goods. So you can go to the where they are selling the goods. You buy it and tell them, okay, I have this, but I want you to supply it to this particular place. I don't want to be carrying anything. So you go and supply it. So you don't necessarily have to be carrying bucket or carrying goods as it were. So you pay the supplier or wherever they are buying, you are buying from. Tell them where to supply to. They supply. When they supply, those people they supply to are paying you based on that, and you leverage that to continue the trade. You are still not necessarily carrying, you are still funding trade. You are still involved in trade. So there are multiple levels in it that you can leverage, that you can maximize. So you buy the goods, like I mentioned, and you supply to the shop. Especially if you already have a relationship there. You keep the full margin, no middleman. See, all 3 are real. All 3 are available around you right now. The question is whether you are looking. Now, of course, the other option is find an existing community or whatever and say, okay, this is my fund, use it for me, give me what profit margin are you going to give me? Give that to me. Or I have this large fund, manage it for me, let's also share profit. That's the other method as well. But these ones are in your own personal control that you can leverage every day to build wealth, to turn your money around. All right. Let's show I don't know if I have to do numbers now, but let me show you what the numbers look like. At least in practice. Let's say that at 2% per 30-day cycle, I'm using 30 days. Like I said, your trade can be shorter depending on the trade you find. So let's say it's 2%. You can find trades that are higher depending on who you find, what you find, and all of that. 2% at 30-day cycle, which is conservative in a way, in some ways. And assuming that you reinvest your return each month, your 500,000 naira can roughly become about 634,000 naira after 1 year. Your 1 million naira will become about 1.268 thousand after 1 year. Your 5 million becomes 6,341 thousand, over 1.3 million, end on it. Just because you are not carrying, you are not, and you see, don't forget, see have your liquid what? Cash. Now, if you look at it over 2 years, compounding, your 5 million can become 8 million naira just by your money working for you. So the key is consistency. Same capital, same reinvestment every cycle. So if you find a trade that is doing weekly, for example, so think about it. The one that is doing weekly or daily, for example, even small money at 10,000 naira, 20,000 naira, 50,000 naira, you will be amazed and surprised at what that can become for you in a month, in a year. So let's say you find one that does 50,000 naira every day. And I know that many will say, oh, that's impossible. But no, it's not impossible. We have just not looked enough or be bold enough to even ask or to even propose it to people around us. 50,000 naira multiplied by 30 is, my math is terrible. Somebody can give me the calculations. Now imagine that you do that every month and you're taking that investment into something else. But that's the opportunity that's around us that we can leverage. Now, I would say that trading is powerful. for growing capital quickly. I love it. I love it. Although trade can also tie your money down. That's another discussion I don't want to go into. Depending. But you are sure that the money is there. You get what I mean? So trading is powerful for growing your capital quickly. The short cycles, the liquidity, the immediate returns, all of that, they are real. But the destination, the place where wealth actually live, is it live or lives? Please permit me. I'm a Yoruba boy. That place is ownership. Owning things that keep paying you, whether you are working or not. So I want us to talk quickly about co-ownership. Now, the principle of co-ownership is simple. And I want you to hold it or understand it very clearly. Own parts of something that is already making money. Not something that might work. Not something you hope will work. Something that has proven, like, that's a proven model. Existing customer, existing cash flow. Or that you know that the market is already there. Even if you are starting from scratch, you can start making money from next day or next month. Like, it's not, you don't have to be hustling, or you can start making money or is already making money. Own that. Many people make a lot of mistake. I don't know if I put it in my slide, but I'm jumping ahead of one, but let me talk about it. You are just making money. Again, you don't come from wealth, and you are investing in startups. I should not be the one saying this because I run a startup on the side. So I should not be saying, but based on the principle, and you are investing $5,000, $10,000 in startup, it may work in many instances. However, for someone who doesn't have a backbone, should not be your first point of call. You should be thinking more of owning small scale or small business, or even businesses that are already generating cash flow that you can share profit the next month or in the next quarter. Not startup that you're hoping that the valuation will grow and then they can pay you. For those who don't know I want to believe everybody knows what startup is, like a tech startup and all of that. Again, I digress. I don't know if I already put it in the slide. I can't, there's a lot I'm trying to cover here at once. So, own part of something that is already making money. I believe that is the starting point. And you can do this also at multiple levels, like from public companies on the stock exchange, all the way to small businesses around us in our cities. I want to walk you through each of the levels. Level one of co-ownership, I believe, is publicly listed companies, specifically dividend-paying stocks. You guys are getting a lot of value in this class. In these sessions, this is what I teach. I break into all of these things down in my Table Masterclass, but I'm already giving you guys a lot of meat. And I hope that you guys are appreciating it. I don't want to blow it out of proportion, but I really, 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 really hope that we understand the value of what we are getting at these sessions every Friday. I really hope. But let me go on. So level one, like I mentioned, is publicly listed companies, specifically dividend-paying stocks. If you are in my class, you know I emphasize that. Don't gamble with stocks. Like they tell you, oh, why don't I write? Find dividend-paying stocks. Now, dividend-paying stocks are simply stocks that share their profit every year with you, regardless of how much value or whatever number of, regardless of the fact that you own their stock. Is that the right English? You own their stock, regardless of whether your stock goes up or down, they still share the profit that they earn every year with you, a percentage of it with you, based on the unit of stock that you have. And that is easily predictable. Hence why I recommend it. Also, because it's also cash flow. As you can tell, I like cash flow-based investments. So when you buy shares in Zenith Bank, Aradel, GTB, or any dividend-paying company, what you are doing is that you are co-owning that business. You are an owner, even if it's a tiny fraction. So, like I mentioned, some of these companies, they share profits with their shareholders every year, and that's what is called dividend. So rather than just asking How high will my stock go? I want you to start asking a different question. How many units of this company do I need to own for the dividend payment alone to give me the income I want every month? So then you begin to build towards that number month by month. You buy consistently. So meaning that you say that if Aradel is giving 25 naira or 100 naira per unit of share, meaning that if I own 1 million units of their share, just because I own the 1 million unit, they are going to give me 100 naira multiplied by 1 million in a year or in a quarter. That is 100 million naira that I earn from their profit, apart from the fact that I own their stock. Do you understand that? If they are giving 25 naira per unit and I own 1 million units, okay, let's say I own 100,000 units, maybe 1 million is a lot. The same thing, that is 25 naira multiplied by 100,000. That is what I think that should be 250,000 if my math is correct. Somebody can do the calculation. That's what I earn as dividend from them. So then, is it not better to now begin to think of stock, dividend paying stock as, okay, how many units do I need to own in this company for me to get this amount of money? So you can plan how much you want to earn from the company in advance. Even though, of course, every year they can change how much you pay and all of that, but many of it are predictable. They are closely related. I think our time is running fast. Okay, so I want to rush. I want to rush as fast as possible. So I would say that build towards that number month by month, buy consistently. That I believe is what co-ownership is at the public market level. Then level 2 is small business co-ownership, and this is where things get really interesting. You find a business that is already operational, already serving customers, already producing cash flow, own a part of it. And before you put your money, you do 4 things. One, understand the model. It's important. How exactly does this business make money? What are the margins? Number 2 is understand who is running it and what your involvement will be. You cannot co-own something blindly. It's important. And number 3 is for you to sign proper agreement documents, create checkpoints as well. So make sure that you are copied on key transactions or whatever it is that is important to you, depending on your level of trust or depending on the agreement that you have with the person. So you don't have to be there every day, but you must have some form of visibility where you have some form of eye on or in the business. And number 4 is to collect your monthly share, meaning that you are looking for co-ownership where you can be earning monthly or at most at least quarterly. Most small business co-ownership at this level can return 2 to 10% actually monthly on your investment. The people, all the small businesses around you, that's what many of them return. Some more, 2 to 10%. And that's what is possible for you. So I gave an example earlier. I'm sorry, we've talked about this, I think this week. Some people have already signified interest before. A truck business, for example, like haulage truck, where you own the truck and then the truck is using goods every day. And of course, collecting money per trip and all of that. That's a business where you can start, like if you co-own it, you can start making money instantly. So I encourage such businesses, not the one that you don't know when it will start earning money. Oh, when will I find clients? There are already clients waiting. There are already people that need this business. This business already existing. That is what I encourage as real business. Now, there are numbers that we can look at as well from dividend-paying stock or small businesses. As you can probably tell, small business will probably make a lot of more money than okay, don't let me say that, depending on the kind of stock that you're also investing. But let's take dividend-paying stock and use a conservative 15% annual return. And I use 15% because I always benchmark. Even in our class, we benchmark it at 20%. Those that are working one-on-one, we benchmark stocks at 20%. Find the ones that does average of 20%. But let's use conservative 15% annual return. If 5 million naira portfolio will produce about 62,500 every month. Now, when that compounds, that's a different case entirely. 10 million naira portfolio will produce about 825,000 naira per month. If you're able to find, of course, stock that does 15%, that do 15%, or that will do 15%. 50 million naira portfolio will do about 625,000 naira per month. And you can again You know what compounding is? We've talked about it at this session. You can keep adding it to you. And this is passive income. You are not doing anything. You hold the stock pay you. Now, for small business, like a truck, and I use a truck because we are already a little familiar with it. So you can take any small business to do this. If you're able to find a truck at 80 million naira or even at 100 million naira, and that truck is returning 3 million naira, and I use small numbers again, 3 million naira monthly. Now, do you know what it means? Is that that truck already earns 36 million naira in a year. How many percentage is that? Someone can help me do the calculation. You can tell already what small businesses do. I'm just using this to open our eyes. So if you own 2 trucks, that 2 truck can do 72 million naira. Remember, we are using average of 3 million naira. If you actually are managing this yourself, you will do way more because, you remove money of a manager or management or different things and all of that. You are managing it yourself. So there's profits, there's money that we can turn around. And this is money that you can choose to be investing in other things as well. Now, even let's say that you co-own 50% of one truck, that gives you 1.5 million naira every month. That is 18 million naira every year. I hope we are following this, how you can turn this around. So these are not impossible. Now, I decided not to use 2 big numbers or not 2 small numbers as well, so that we can bring the message home. These are not impossible numbers. They are real. The question is whether you are building towards them. So as I'm rounding up, here is a simple framework I want you to walk away with tonight. 3 instruments. Of course, you don't have to do all at once. You can do them in stages. You can start with trade co-funding. If I were you, look for small trades, trades that you can start with. You can use small money, 300K, 500K, even 100K. And I've given this example before in some of my posts about somebody selling granules, somebody selling cashew nuts. There are people around you that do some of these things that you can leverage, or a woman selling food that you can look at. What does she buy regularly? Tell you, okay, this is how much do you make? You can strike a conversation. You'll be surprised that the person will say yes. You will be so surprised. I rest my case. I'll go on again. So I think I was trying to round up. So first, of course, talk about trade co-funding. So use it to grow your capital fast, short cycle, liquid, and keep reinvesting. Then the second is dividend stock. Start building ownership. I recommend dividend stock actually. Start buying small. But you don't use everything to buy. That's not what I don't recommend. If you come to my class, we have a framework of percentages, how you should break it down, how you should use it, and then you record it every month to know what your portfolio is and blah, blah, blah. So start buying ownership in profitable public companies. This, I believe, is your long-term compounder, because as it compounds, you can also get lucky that one stock can do 1,000%, 2,000% in a year or in 2 years. Do you know what that means? I don't want to go into all the numbers so that we don't get too excited, but it's part of co-ownership. Buying stocks, buying shares is part of co-ownership. The third one, of course, is small business co-ownership. Find something already making money and own part of it. I already mentioned that you don't have to do all 3 at once. Start with one, build confidence, build capital, and add the next layer. That, I believe, is how a real portfolio is built. Slowly, deliberately, without stopping. So that is our conversation tonight. But just so that I can take all the announcements at once, then I can take any question that we have. I'll just quickly run through 1 or 2 of our announcements that we have. One of them, of course, as many of you know, is our palm oil trade co-funding that we can co-fund together. But the last one, the current one, is already ongoing. It started August 10th, so you can't join again until September 10th. September 10th. Yeah, September 10th. However, you may actually be able to join because we'll be working on, there are 1 or 2 announcements that's coming in. A few things will change, first and foremost, around the models that we currently have. We know we have option A, option B, option C. Those things may no longer exist based on the issues that we are having with our trade partner. When I say issue, not bad issue, but based on the agreement that they are giving us right now, due to different factors in the market. But apart from that, aside that, we're also going to have like a platform where you may be able to do those things yourself. And hoping in the next 1 or 2 weeks, you may be able to see those platforms, and we will not have to be following the strict September 10th to 10th anymore. You can just leverage everything on your platform yourself. When the deal is available, you see an announcement, you'll see a notification, you go there, you see if you're interested in it, you click on it. But the group will still exist so that we can still interact, we can still get live feedback from each other as well. But those are, I think I'm already giving the announcements, but updates will come around that as we go along. So the next thing I want to quickly invite you for those who are interested is the Wealth Table Masterclass. And I believe it's a class where I take my time to actually break things down. And we're not breaking down. This one, you have a workbook. We're actually doing it together. As I'm doing it, you are imputing your own numbers. You are creating your own numbers. You are creating your own financial wealth plan, your own financial future. You are actually creating what your next 1 year, 5 years, 10 years will look like financially, what your portfolio will look like, and what that portfolio will be earning you passively on a monthly basis. It's a deeply practical class, and I'm hoping that maybe one of these I'll collect the testimonials from last session. I'm going to share with the group or publicly. We'll just be a bit busy and not be able to do that. But I encourage you to join it. I think that for many people, if you are part of the aspiring co-ownership community, you are the ones that will be part of this the most, not people from outside, because there is a lot of value. You are already a member of this community. There's a lot of value that you can get here that we don't share often because of the time that we have and restrictions that we have at this session. Currently, it's 15,000 naira. Late fee, I think it's 25K. So register right now. I don't know if our team has a link. They will share the link, the August link in the chat or in the group. Register. I encourage you to register right now. Don't let me talk more about it. We'll probably share about it in the group as well. There's something I call the Wealth Table Fellowship. It's for people who want to build a 100 million to 1 billion naira portfolio. Basically, you now have access to me one-on-one. We are going to be working on your portfolio together every month. We have a private session. Look at what you have done, what stock to invest in, what not to invest in, what trade to co-fund, what business to co-own, the one that you are co-owning now. Do you look at the one that you should opt out of, the one that you should move into? Like, it's a deeply session. You are also going to have a community of people who are also doing the same, so you can learn from each other what they are doing wrong, what they are doing well, and all of that. So I call it a fellowship. So it's a 12-month program. However, you are only eligible if you have done my Wealth Table Masterclass or you have done my one-on-one session. That's the only thing that, because you need to have a certain document that I provide in the Wealth Table Masterclass that you would have filled already. So that way, when we are doing this private one-on-one, we know we are working with something already, not just working from the next. I encourage you guys to please, if you can, join the Wealth Table Masterclass if you've already done that. Then the last announcement, I believe, is out co-owning a truck. This is the fourth. I think this one is about the real ownership, by the way, where and I said that this one is different from everything else because this one, we are actually owning a physical asset. And I know there are some people who have indicated interest to be part of this. You may also have some questions if you are here. We can also address some of those questions tonight as much as we can before we convene that special meeting with those who have signified interest. But for those who don't know what this is simply owning a haulage truck, like a truck that people use to move goods up and down. Like FMCG, big FMCGs like Dangote, Dufil, and the likes, they use these trucks to move goods. So they own some of these trucks, but many of the trucks, they actually contract it. They find someone people who already have the truck and say, come and carry this good, and they pay them per trip. That's actually how it works. And usually it's profitable. Yeah, it's also demanding, it's challenging, but it's profitable. If you find a good truck, maybe brand new at the beginning or very fairly at the beginning, there are things that you can make a lot of money from before the truck even start giving you any trouble. You have made your money times, you'll be fine before you experience anything. And the more you own, the more, so it's like you're also generating profit or capital easily or cash flow fast as well. So the trucks that are currently available, and I think I want to share this, although I was supposed to share this in the group with those who signify, I say in the group, in the meeting rather, with those who signified interest, but I think it's okay to also share it here. Currently, the price on the brochure, for those who have gotten the brochure of this truck, the deck, is 80 million naira. Let me explain why it is. It's actually more, or supposedly supposed to be more than that. It is 80 million naira because there is currently an auction to buy 22 of those trucks from Dangote. Dangote has 22 of those trucks that they are disposing, but they are brand new that they are not using, they are not planning to use anymore. And they are LNG enabled food grade tanker trucks. Of course, we are the one that will buy tanker at the back. It's just the truck that we're buying. Still buy but all everything is covered in the price. So the reason why it's at that amount is because it's an auction. And one of our trade partners is part of those people that are bidding on the auction. Now, it's important for me to state in advance, if they do not win that bid, that auction bid, it means that we will not be able to partake in that particular truck. It is important. That's why it looks like we are also not moving forward with the truck as fast as we do with the palm oil loan, because of some of these factors. If you know me, I like to be very transparent with some of these things ahead of. So the trucks are available. There's a video of it. Anybody want, I can even share with you of all the 22 videos of some of the truck. We just buy tanker at the back. However, it's a bid auction currently going on. So they are bidding for those 22 trucks. So if they get those 22 trucks, we are able to own, like hourly buy out one or two based on how much we're able to from them. That becomes those people who buy it or co-own it, they become the real owners of it. But many people will not want to be managing truck by themselves. So that's why we, of course, we've made provision where you can lease it to a management company. The management company manages it at an agreed amount that you're going to get paid every other month. But it's your own, it's in your name. The truck is registered in your name. You do the insurance, everything. Of course, all of that guidance will provide it as well. Those are things that you should not worry about. So I think I already said this. So the trucks will carry edible food like liquid commodity like palm oil, olein, FAD, vegetable oils, olein, and all of that. So basically oil to FMCG manufacturers and all of that. So that's a very active, consistent sector actually. So it's why we are bringing it. If you know, I like something that, so let me go into it. What can give us money now? Not in the next. What can we do now? That's the opportunity we are looking to bring in early first. We are going to be doing other forms of opportunity, guys. But at the start, because a lot of people right now are like, I want to turn my money around. So these are the opportunities that you can leverage for some of those things. So the trucks are available now at a price lower than the normal market rate, like I mentioned. And I think I already mentioned that we have 22. Monthly return potential can be about 3 million to 4 million. Why? Because the manager will take their money, will run a lot. They will just agree, okay, I will give you 3 million every month or 4 million every month on this truck. I will manage it. You list it to me, and then do all of the business. Of course, there's other form of making money where you can say, okay, I don't want you to give me 3 million, 4 million. Just let's share profits. But the challenge is that the month where there's no trade, there's no plenty work, you all suffer the consequences together. The month where something breaks down, all of those things, you are going to, because you're also going to bear a lot of risk together and all of those things. So those are just factors. So we always just recommend the lease at a certain amount every month that way. So that way, also, you can also decide to also self-manage it. You buy it yourself, or you find a group of people to buy it. It's fine. You self-manage it, as much as possible. So, like I mentioned, it's your own. You lease it to a management company for a fixed monthly return, or you do a profit share arrangement. We're going to be having a dedicated session. We're supposed to have it this week, like tomorrow, but I'm thinking it's going to be on Monday, most likely evening. Most likely, if it's not Monday evening, most likely Tuesday. But it's not clear. It's not finalized yet. So, but it's supposed to be tomorrow. The reason why we are thinking it's not going to be tomorrow is that it looks a bit late. We have not shared the information yet to people right now, and I'm sure that most people signified interest. We have a few people, over 10 people, is it about 20 people thereabout, who have signified interest already. So I want everybody to be present at the meeting. So it's important that if you say we have the meeting tomorrow and they are not yet aware today, I'm worried that some people will not be able to make it. So we want to give ample time, except we think otherwise here, or many of us are already here. So so that's that. We're going to have a dedicated session this, most likely, if not this weekend, Monday or Tuesday, where for those who have expressed their interest, if you have not expressed your interest and you're interested in it, there should be a link in the chat, or check in the group. We'll put a link there somewhere for you to express your interest, and so that you can be invited for that meeting. Of course, and then we can take those discussions from there. I think that's pretty much it. So I want to round up this session quickly, and I want to wrap it up, bringing everything I've shared so far together. I'm going to close with 3 words that you already know, that I already talked about. One of them is trade it. Simply means use co-funding to grow your capital fast in the short term. The second one is own it, which is Build or own stakes in things that keep paying you. And then the third one is what? Compound it. Reinvest, stay consistent, do not stop. For me, that is the whole system. This system is a system that build and is guaranteed to make you wealthy. So I'll just stop there. I'll take our questions. So please let's drop our questions, our comments, concern, whether about the teaching, whether about the opportunities in the chat. And then I'll do my best to respond and answer. Let me just check the chat right now if there are already any form of question. Oh, there are already questions. Thank you very much. That's true. That's true. Okay. Let me first see if there are other people here. Okay, please kindly talk on dollar investment. I saw Rise Vest, Go Base Plan, but it's high risk. Yeah. We want to invest in Naira and dollar also. Please talk on what and where I can invest in dollar and compound also, please. Interesting. First, I want to know, are you in the US, in the UK, in Canada first? Let me know. I would actually add this as something I would talk about maybe in the next session or something, or create something for us in the group. For those who know, if you have, and I think I shared this at the World Table Masterclass. Right now, if you are in Nigeria, whether you are abroad or anywhere, we should prioritize investment in Nigeria right now. Now, it doesn't mean that dollars, it doesn't mean you should not do dollars or do pounds. I live in the UK, so you should do all of these things. However, I recommend that right now in prioritize Nigerian investment. So what that means is that a high percentage of money, let's be doing Nigerian-based investments. Let me tell you why. Because right now, all the big boys in the world, the US and the likes, all of their big investment firms, they're currently investing in the Nigerian market right now. And you know why? Because almost no market is returning the ridiculous returns that's currently going on in the Nigerian market, whether through stocks and the likes, bonds and all of that. Almost nowhere else. Even in the UK, maybe you get 4% or 5% annually. Nigerian stock, there are stocks that are doing 20%, another are doing 50% annually. So just knowing what it is. So the challenge around that the value of the money will drop when I exchange it is a lie. If you get enough high return, even at 20%, by the time you get 20%, you turn your 1 million naira into it covers the exchange rates of whatever it is that you're worried about. So first I'm going to prioritize that. But while you do that, because you also still live abroad, it's important that you still put a percentage of your investment to that country. Now, every country has a form of investment at a bit of a minimum. In the UK, for example, it's called ISA. So there's an amount that you invest every year without government charging you interest in it, and I think it's £20,000. So if you live in the UK, you have to take advantage of that. So your percentage of your money, let's say a part of it be going into all of that. And in the US has theirs, Canada has theirs as well. So it's important to know where. So I'll probably create something specific for this so that we don't use this way. And then we'll share and talk. Somebody is writing on our board, or if you are the one, please help us. Or we are writing on our screen rather. Help us remove that. So I hope I answered that, Francisca. Is it Francisca or Francesca? I'm not sure. So please, I hope I answered that. And I'll still come back and talk more about that later. Question: for shares that pay dividend, do you know of any in the UK? To be honest, I would like it if I say I do. I'm not a fan of shares in the UK. To be honest with you. But something that can work, like I can. I know, please pen some of these questions down so that I can look for something for people in this area. So if number two, so Abiola, I cannot give you a direct answer now. That's because I like to talk more about what I do. Like what I do or what I've seen people do, or what I know people who are doing it more. It's more of what I like to talk about. If you have noticed me more. I'm not a fan of. You can buy shares UK. I have this thing that I do for my children in the UK, money box and blah blah blah. They say they can divide the percentage some are in shares and all of those things. I just do it for the sake of some of those things. Some of them involve shares and all of that, but I'm not even bothered. I'm just doing it for okay, let's just, because at least they are here. So let's just do it for that purpose. So I hope that answered that. If you invest in Nigeria, how do you convert back to pounds to check if it's profitable? It's not hard now. So simple right now. If you're earning in pounds, again, I believe, have you been part of the World Table Masterclass? If you have, you should not have this question.
Not yet, sir. Not yet, but I'm going to join.
Okay. So if you have, so now the reason why I said that is that we have a percentage framework. What is covering your day-to-day, all of the other things, and then investment. The same way you have that percentage of your investment, the same way you can break that down and say, this is the one that is going to Naira-based investment, and this is the one that is going to pounds-based investment. So let's say what you are dedicated for investment is £500. And then you say £250 of it, which is 500,000 naira, I'm taking it to Naira-based investment. So you convert £250 through LEM5 or money points and say, okay, or if you can find someone who wants pound and give you Naira at a better rate, good, but be careful so that someone will not collect your. I read a story recently this week, the one that they sent 1 point something million Naira to, and then it was £10 and the person vanished from the group. So be careful of that kind of so. But easy trusted platforms, LEM5, money points. You send now. Those rates are like they say, oh, maybe right now, if you want to change from LEM5, I think it's either 19 something right now. Let me see if I can check. I think I can check. Guys, we are all learning, so let's bear with us as we check. I know is it to receive that is 1,800 and something? Well, let's confirm. Let's confirm. So send money, pounds to Naira. We said 250, right? So £250. That is 1,860. That's what it is. Now, that's 465,000 naira. Again, if you find individual, maybe they can do it for you at a better rate than that. But now, when you want to bring it back, the challenge is that you look at this and say, if I'm going to change Naira back to pounds, which is what it is. Let's go back. Naira back to pounds. Remember that amount. Somebody can even know that amount of money. £250 is 465,000 naira. But let's change Naira back to pounds. Naira now. Let's change it to pounds. Uh, 465,000 naira, right? 465,000 naira. Now, when we are changing 465,000 naira is what you have taken to the Nigerian market. And if you want to change it back instantly at 465 naira, you lose money because you want to just change 465,000 naira back. Right. However, the 465,000 naira is money that you have committed to investing at a profit. Right. So your 455 million naira, 45,000 naira is not investment that you want to invest today and collect tomorrow. First thing, it's long-term based investment. So it means that your money would have done multiples of 2%, multiples of 5%, multiples of 10%, multiples of 50%, depending, and compound long enough, sometimes between 1 year to 5 years. Now, except of course, you want to be investing that you want to be collecting every 6 months, every 3 months. You also have to work around the strategy around it. But let's even say it's just 1 year or 2 years, and your investment did an average of let's say 20%, which is small. What is 20% of 465,000 naira? Who knows? Who can help us with the math quickly? 20% of 465,000 naira. Someone help us, please, so that we can answer. Oh, 1855, that's your own. I don't, this one is saying something else. So what's 20% of? That should be how much? Quickly, guys. That should be 20%. That's 93,000 naira. So 93,000 naira plus 465,000 naira. How much is that? Somebody help me, please. 93,000 naira plus 465,000 naira. 558,000 naira. So 558,000 naira. Guess what? 558,000 naira. When I'm converting it to pounds, it's giving me 277 pounds. What does it mean? My money are still appreciated. Like when I'm trying to change it with LEM5, it's giving me 277 pounds. So the worry that you have is where your money is not making enough what's it called? Interest. You're not worried about that exchange rate and all of those things. If your money is earning proper good interest regularly, constantly, especially if it's even large volume of money. No, we are even using small money. We are using big money. Those are not things you should be worried about. If a market is making more money from you, the US themselves, all of these big banks, JP Morgan, they find the market that is doing big, put money there. So if they are doing that, who are you and me that we should not do the same? And you are now from the country that is returning high interest rates. Now, the challenge is you have to find the right instruments, the ones that will do well. Those are another ballgame entirely that we cannot cover in this session. So I hope that answers your question, Abiola. What of the palm oil co-funding, Chimeze? The palm oil co-funding, I think I've already explained it that the current trade is ongoing. We do it monthly, on the 10th of every month. So the last one was on the 10th of August, which was 4 days ago. That was the one. So it's already ongoing right now. You cannot join right now. Like in the Playtives model, you cannot join. The next trade will likely be September 10 to co-fund the trade. Now, you can express interest and pay in advance and wait, but it will only start reading from September 10. That's the point. So if you're interested in that, the form for the trade 4 is not out yet. So we can probably share that in the group tonight so that you can express your interest, how much, whatever, and then we'll send you the form. In case you don't have the information about it, we've already explained it. So I don't know but Chimeze, let me know what your questions are about the palm oil trade co-funding so that we'll know whether you've already known about it before, you don't know about it. So I will know how to help around that. But the current trade 3 is already ongoing. It started August 10 to September 10. Trade 4 is starting September 10. So that's that. US. Okay, Francisca is in US. Okay, thank you. Okay. So we'll do something around that. Okay, thank you. Okay, great. Abiola, you understand that. Great. How can one join? I want to join. Okay, so simply, like I mentioned, we will probably share a link, expression of interest form for those who want to co-fund the palm oil trade. But we'll put a bit of the details in the send the form into the group. The one that's for trade 4. You cannot join the ongoing one. You can only express interest for trade 4 and pay in advance for it. And of course, it's going to start reading from September 10 in that regard. So we'll put a link of that in the chats, or sorry, most likely in the group later tonight or tomorrow. So click on that. Maybe when we send the recording of this session, we always record this session. You can click to join that. So I believe you already have all the information around it. Like I mentioned earlier, I mentioned the bit of the model will change around percentages, around co-funding and all of those, a few things. Most likely to, before you know it, before the next session, which is the next September 10, which is the next trade cycle, our platform should also be ready for our community members, but it's going to be only for our community members. So you'll be able to actually find available trades on it, what the percentage is it 3 months, is it 6 months, is it 1 year, what the percentage is going to give, and then you can more like you invest in it as well. So most likely before then, but in the meantime, we still provide that form, and then you fill the expression of interest form. Once you fill it, we send you the agreement and the details you pay, and then that's it. I hope that answers your question, Chimeze. Can you post all the members that have been paid on the palm oil co-funding? Okay. Thank you for the question. Let me look here. I want to believe that there are some that are here. I want to believe. Is anybody here? No, yeah. I've seen 1 or 2 names. So, but I don't want to. Let me just ask anybody here who has been part of our last 2 trades or last 3 trades, please help Toby Y123. Do you want to unmute yourself, please? Joyce Kalu answer, but please, do you want to unmute yourself and talk, or if you don't mind the video? Me, I don't always bother. People ask this question, I just move on because it looks like you're trying to pitch them or you're trying to, no, please. Joyce, let me know what you mean. But I've seen 1 or 2 names that I know that are part of, you don't want to, you mean you want to do video? Okay, but there should be people who are okay with talking, even if it's on muting their mic without necessarily doing a video if you don't want to do a video. But if you are here, you have been part of trade 1, trade 2, or trade 3, you have co-funded or you have invested, please, you can unmute yourself or put it in the chat for other people.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Let me say my email address. Probably you remember me, Sunday Rejoice.
The name, I was wondering what the name is. Yeah, I know. I got it.
My social media name is Joyce Kalu. I'm one of the pioneers, though. Thank you so much for the opportunity, Legend. You know, this same question this person asked, I also asked the same question in July when we started. I asked if it was real, and I said, okay, we've been taking risks for some years now, so this will not be the first. We say, okay, let's give it a try. But trust me, it is real. And if you're a business person, you know that there are times you need to take some kind of certain risk. But this one is a good one to fall into. That's all I can say. It's real. Thank
Thank
you.
you very much. Thank you very much, Joyce. Thank you. I have just joined Trade 3 this month. Thank you. Okay. I've seen one or two names here that are not chatting or saying anything, that I know that they have been part of Trade 1, Trade 2, Trade 3 from, but I don't know. Some people like to keep it private, and I understand. As a matter of fact, in the phone, we always ask a question. Do you want us to announce you in the group or private? Guess what? 99.9% of everybody say private. I don't know why people don't want us to announce their names or stuff in the group, but I understand it when they also come to a view of money, especially the Nigerian system. So I understand that. So I hope that answers your question. TOBY123. All right. All right. So any other question? I want to believe. Wow, it's 8:13 already. Today we are late. So we want to wrap this up. Angie, you just joined. Yes, 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 yes. It helps those of us just starting. Absolutely, absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely. But see, one thing is that once you co-own or co-fund a trade, there's a dedicated group for those who are already co-owning or co-funding. So you can have people there, you can ask a question there, you can interact with people there as well. So you know that okay, there are people already in this group. I'll be already doing this way before me. So, but like I said, most of these things, the way I'm trusting the next couple of weeks, you will not even have to be doing all of this. It will be automated by yourself on your phone, on your device. You just log into your account, you do and then you can, when it's available, you get a notification, you can do it instantly as well. They're trustable, only going to be for our community members. We're not going to be advertising it publicly, based on the should I call it, certification that we still have right now. While we're working on the bigger one that we can advertise like publicly. So it means that we are only confined to our community members as well. All right, guys. Any other question we have on everything that I've shared? In the absence of no question, we would have to close the meeting. But let me see any question on not just on the opportunity, on the things we have shared on wealth, on co-ownership, on co-funding, on building wealth, leveraging these things, on even the classes, by the way. Any question that you have, please let me know. If there's no question, we are going to close this session in 1 minute. In 1 minute. All right. I believe that we have been good. All right. In the absence of no question, can you please let me know, has this session been helpful to you? What did you learn from this session? Because like I said to you guys, sometimes I feel like, let's come and do open house tonight. Let's just, so, but I believe that your feedback is one of the reasons why I would choose to continue to do it. And I'm hoping that it's helpful to you guys, because if it's not, there's no point. We are just wasting our time. We can be doing our announcement in the group or make a video about it, and have we can, or just focus on the Playtives Open House on just our opportunities. We can do that. There's nothing wrong with doing that. So I want to always get our feedback. Has this session's been helpful to you? Did you learn anything? Are there things that you're going to take away from me and going to go and do something about? I know someone who we did a one-on-one session, and this thing I shared with you about supermarket, said that for the first time he had to go back and talk to his mom, who does supermarket. And then when the mom showed the numbers of what she's earning, she said that he could not believe it. And the mother had to now tell him that, what do you think I used in sending you to school? Now he had to now make a deal with the mom to actually co-fund part of the goods of the mom to make money. These things are real. It's no go come. If you look around you, the opportunities are there. They're there. So I hope we can explore that. So okay, thank you. Pauline, thank you, Madam Pauline. Thank you, Francisca. Thank you, Abel. I think it should be Abiola. That should be pronunciation. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, guys. I'm going to be closing this session now, and I deeply, deeply appreciate us. Thank you for always joining us every other time. Hopefully this coming week or this week or next week, I want to start sharing a lot about why we started Playtives. Because because I think that is getting, I don't want that the mission to get lost in the hype of the investment. It's not about the investment. And I want to understand it. We are building the largest Africa's largest co-ownership group or co-ownership organization in the world. So what it means is that we are going to be co-owning some of the biggest things in the world, in Nigeria, not just in Nigeria, in the UK, in the US, across the world, things that are going to be profitable for us. But more important, things that are going to be changing the face of a sector. So don't let me go into all of that because I can spend long sharing the vision. Why we want to make a lot of money, and we are going to make a lot of money in investing, co-owning, and all of that, which is primary. But importantly, we are also going to be making a lot of impact. That is the fundamental essence of why we launched or we started the Playtives platform or organization. I want us to go on this journey together. It's a long ride. It's a long ride. Where we are going is very far. And there's one other thing I wanted to quickly, thank you for, I'm happy that I remembered. Some of us, we know opportunities around us that are making money. Maybe that you're not doing it or you know somebody that, bring them to us. Let us verify them and we can do a partnership with them for people in the community to co-own it or co-fund it. Don't be worried. The only thing is that if you feel like we have hesitations around certain things, why we will not go forward. Bring the opportunities, share them with me, please. That's why my number is in group. It's not just why I have like 2 or 3 of my team members in group. Apart from that, share them. You can chat with me at any time. I can send an email. It's not like if you chat with me on personal, whatever, I'll ask you to go and book one-on-one. But feel free. There are people that still chat with personal stuff. Don't mind me. But point is, please bring those opportunities. There's a lot of things that we can do together and we can earn together and we can make impact together. All right, guys. Thank you so very much, everybody. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate everybody. Let's have a beautiful weekend and we'll see you in the group and at next week's open house session. Bye for now.